phone call. I slammed my phone in the car door over the weekend.
What?
Yeah, it was in my pocket, and I was getting in the car, and as I got in the car, it fell out of my pocket. But you get in the car and you close the door.
Sounds like something my
Slid out,
sister would do.
slid out of my
What if
pocket,
it fell out
and I
your pocket?
slammed the door and snap. So
Did you
let's
get
boop
it?
boop ba-doop boop. Let's talk. Okay. I will eventually get it fixed, but I'm a little busy this week. Teaching you hooligans. I'm getting married on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Mhm. Nope.
Aww.
Huh?
Are you going to grab money?
No. I'm gonna go. We're going to Disney World in December.
I already went there.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. So I've been a little busy this week. I promise I'll get my phone fixed, and we'll have some fun stuff to do after I'm not getting married. After
Is
that.
this your first marriage?
That's a personal question. All right, so let's look at page 53. We're gonna be talking about. The religion in early America. Yesterday, if we think back, we talked about the Electoral College. Let's not fiddle with stuff. We should be tuned in and paying attention. We talked about our first president. Someone raise your hand and tell me who our first president was. Chloe. George Washington was our very first president. Excellent job. So today we're going to kind of continue to talk about our early America and all that fun stuff. But we're going to specifically in this heading talk about religion in early America. So follow along with me. I'm going to kind of just, I'm going to read because I'm just going to bounce around a little bit and ask you guys some questions. But let's see who's paying attention. Shall we?
I'm ready.
Shall we see who's paying attention? All right, here we go. Listen up. Like Washington, the founders valued virtue. They wanted Americans to behave well. Some said that if America's leaders did not have virtue, the nation would fail. Good leaders need to care for others. They must not put themselves first. They must do the people must do the same. So, should a good leader be really mean to everybody? No. Should a good leader be selfish? No. Should a good leader help others?
Yes.
Very good. Should a good leader be giving?
Yes.
Yes, all of those things. So they knew that they couldn't put themselves first and that they had to have their people do the same. It would be like if I asked you guys to do something that I wasn't also willing to do. Little fun fact about Miss V. Every single test that you guys take from me, you know who else takes that test?
You.
I don't make anybody take a test that I'm not willing to go take myself. And I would never ask you guys to do something I wouldn't myself do. So that's the same thing with these leaders. If you want to be a good leader, you have to be kind, you have to be selfless, and you have to be willing to do anything that you would ask your people to do. You have a question?
I can see what your cup says.
My cup says today's number is 0. 0 kids are listening to me. Aha, it's the count from Sesame Street. It's supposed to be funny. Y'all can laugh.
Count Dracula. What did you
Count.
get that cup from?
My friend Kelly made it for me. Yeah. All right, let's move on. The founders tried to give good advice, but sometimes they did not. Because is anybody perfect? No, nobody's perfect. Everyone sins. So our founding fathers, they did their best to give good advice, but sometimes they didn't. Some of them were Christians and some of them were not. But some of the founders thought the Bible didn't matter. Does the Bible matter, you guys? Yes. Do you need to go? You good?
Yeah, sometimes I just feel like I drink baby milk sometimes.
Ooh. Anywho, so the Bible matters, but some of the founding fathers didn't think the Bible matters. Well, if they realized how much the Bible matters, they might be giving some better advice. Some of them thought that it was enough for a person to just want to do right. Is it enough? I mean, is it a good thing to do right?
Yes.
But is that enough? No, I can want $1 million all day long. Does that mean that I'm going to go look in my bank account and there's going to be $1 million there? No, I wish. That would be awesome. I could wish for a brand new Toyota 4Runner SUV right now. But if I go out in the parking lot, is it going to be the car that I want, or is it going to be my old 10-year-old vehicle that I've been driving forever?
Oh, 10-year-old.
Yeah, so it's not just enough to want to do right. I can want those things all day long, but I'd have to do something to have those things happen for me. So they thought that it was just enough to, if you wanted to do right. Like, well, I want to be a good person, but I smacked Morgan right in the face. Well, then you're really not trying that hard to be a good person, right? Okay, so, and I would never, and I have the same one. I have the wolf. He's at my house. He's on my, you know how your faucet in the kitchen is like round? I put him on the faucet in my kitchen. I'll take a picture of him. I'll show you guys tomorrow. So they thought that it was enough for a person to want to do right. And a few thought that Jesus was not God. Well, we know that Jesus is God, correct? Yes. So most believed that the Bible was helpful. So they were kind of all over the place. They didn't all necessarily agree on everything, but they were doing their best. Now let's look down there. Take your finger, put it on the picture of John Adams.
Ooh.
Listen. It's my turn. Wisdom and knowledge, as well as virtue, diffused generally among the body of people is necessary for the preservation of their rights and liberties. So this is something that John Adams said. Turn around, please. Turn around, please. Thank you. I'm so glad to have you back paying attention to me. Thanks. What John Adams is saying here, this means if people want to keep their freedom, they must be wise and good. If you're not wise, it's pretty easy to pull stuff over on you. So if you're not demonstrating wisdom, you can't really keep your freedom. Say Kai had a $10 bill, and I really wanted to go to Chick-fil-A for dinner tonight, but I didn't have $10. Listen. And Kai's got a $10 bill sitting on his desk. And I'm sitting here like, and Kai's not paying attention to it. Kai's got this $10 bill out on his desk, and he's turned around in his seat. He's talking to Aiden Parker. He's goofing off with Chloe Hahn. And that $10 bill is just sitting right there. Is he being very wise by not having that safe in his pocket?
No.
No, because I could be sitting here and go, that's my $10 bill. I'm going to go get myself some Chick-fil-A for dinner tonight.
You would take my dollar.
Well, but my point is, listen. My point is, was it wise for Kai to not have an idea where his money was and what was going on with it? Would that be very wise? No, you need to be wise, because if you're being wise, your freedom can't be taken away from you so easily. Just like had Kai been wise enough to put that money in his pocket, I couldn't have taken his money away from him. All right, let's flip over to page 54. There's a lot of chit chat in between things here right now, and I love you guys and I love hearing from you, but right now it's my turn, so I would really prefer if you didn't talk out. Is that understood? Thank you. Do me that favor. Is that understood? Over here on the side of the room. Yeah? Okay. So let's look at the top of this page. It says some founders believed that any religion was good as another. Well, do we think that that's true?
No.
No, we know that there's how many true gods?
One.
Just the one true God. They wanted people to be moral. Well, guess what, guys? It's great to be moral. It's great to be moral. It's great to make good choices. It's great to be kind to your neighbors. They wanted people to be moral, but they did not like arguing about the Christian teachings. They thought it didn't matter if a nation's leader were Christians. The founders wanted to allow a person to serve in the national government even if he did not believe in the religion. Now, that's okay, because we know that we're free Americans and we're all entitled to believe what we want to believe. But this upset a lot of people, made a lot of people really mad. They thought only Christians could be good leaders. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You can be moral and you can be a good leader and not be a Christian, but we know that we do our best when we have Jesus Christ as boss over our lives. So some states would only allow leaders whose religion was Christianity. Okay, so that's something to remember. That's something important. That might be something that shows up on a test. So don't you think that might be something that you should go ahead and file away in that old brain storage of yours? This is yes. Yes, this is yes. Yes. Let's pick that head up, Tyler Williams. I know that we're tired, but we need to pick our head up and pay attention. Thank you. So let's look at the picture here on the page. You see the outside and the inside of an old ship church in Hingham, Massachusetts. It was built in 1681. That was a long time ago. Yeah. And it served as a place of worship on Sundays. And also, remember we talked about the meeting houses? Churches could be for church, but they would also be where local government would come and meet and chat about things. Okay, let's look at page 55. Some people thought religion would just disappear altogether. One government leader, his name was Thomas Jefferson. What was his name?
Thomas Jefferson.
He believed that people were changing. What did he believe?
People were changing.
He did not think many young people would be Christians when they grew up. But Jefferson was wrong. During the early 1800s, a revival took place. Many Americans became evangelical Christians. They said that the Bible is the final authority, and they taught that sin is people's biggest problem. They taught that people can be saved because Christ died and rose from the dead, and they believed a person could be saved from their sin if they trust in Christ. And we knew all of that because we learned that in our Bible and in chapel and on all the other wonderful things that we get to do. One last page we want to look at all together here, page 56. Hayden Parker, zip those lips. Next person that talks out, I'm going to have to write some note down to Miss Blatzer to remind her that you might need some time off your recess. And I don't want to do that. No. All right, so let's look at page 56. Now, there were groups of the evangelical Christians, and they were called Methodists, and they were called Baptists. Raise your hand if you've ever heard either one of those words before. Methodist or Baptist. Ever heard any of those words? Well, the church that is here, that meets here, that is the reason we have a school here, is called Cedar Creek Baptist Church. Okay, so they were Methodists and they were Baptists. They were both important groups during that time of revival that we talked about. Remember Thomas Jefferson, he didn't think people were going to be Christians, right? He thought religion was going to go poof, just disappear. But those revivals started happening. During that time, we had these two important groups. They spread out way west, and some western towns didn't have preachers. One man might preach for several towns, and what he would do is, this is really cool, I've always loved this. He would ride from town to town on a planned circuit or a route. They called them circuit riding preachers. What are they called?
Circuit riding preachers.
What did the circuit riding preachers do? Someone raise your hand and tell me. Kai?
They rode all around. They rode across town, preaching.
Yes, very good, because a lot of these towns out west didn't have a preacher yet. During this time, a lot of people got to hear the Bible, and that changed them. Their lives being changed. They left their sin, and they trusted in Christ. All four on the floor, please. The revival proved Jefferson wrong. What did Jefferson say originally?
They proved him.
What did he say?
They wouldn't be able to that they would, when they grow up, they wouldn't believe in God.
Yeah, and was he wrong?
Yes.
Yes, he was wrong. He thought people would not care for religion, but many Americans did. During the 1800s, many Americans became evangelical Christians. And if you look down, take your finger and put it on the page, on the picture of, his name is Francis Ashbury. What's his name?
Francis Ashbury.
He helped form the Methodist Church in America, and he, for over 30 years, rode from town to town sharing the gospel. And what are those traveling preachers called?
Christians.
No, the traveling preachers. What are they called?
Traveling preachers.
Circuit riding preachers. Very good. Excellent job. Get your workbook and open to page 33. Yeah, let me get that finished up today, okay? We shouldn't be talking. We shouldn't be talking. Yes, ma'am? No, don't rip it out. We're just going to be on the front side of it today. Yes.
You can actually get one came from Mr. Beast.
Okay, right now we're going to talk about page 33. Do not tear it out because tomorrow's lesson 20 is on the back side. So we want to leave it in our book and we'll have the page all ready for us to go tomorrow. That way we don't lose it. Who likes losing things? Not me. You like losing things? Well, you like losing your work and getting a 0 on it?
Yeah.
You like getting a 0 on it. So if I tell Grandma that you said that, is she going to be happy to hear that?
Yes. No.
That's what I thought.
I will.
Zip. Zip. My turn. Yes.
Are you only doing left side?
Yes, that's what I just said. We're on page 33. Listen. The top of the page says that it's very important. So this is something you should listen to. It's very important to decide if information we read or what others tell us is fact or opinion. Let's take your hands out of your desk. Fact means that it's true. Like, the sky is blue. That is floor. That is the ceiling. That is Tyler. I am 28. That is all facts, okay? Now, we also, I said the next person that talked out is getting time off their recess. So you just got time off your recess, my dear. And I will continue to do that. Thank you. An opinion, okay, also facts can be proven, okay? So it's something like the sky is blue. Well, whenever it's a sunny day, you can look outside and prove the fact that the sky is blue by looking at the sky, okay? You can prove the fact that I'm 28 years old by looking at my birth certificate, all right? You can prove the fact that that's floor by putting your feet down on it and standing. Those are all facts. They can be proven, Aiden Parker. They can be proven. An opinion is a statement that tells what a person thinks about a subject. Like, oh, the floor's so pretty. The sky's so pretty. Well, you might honestly just shook your head no, and that's perfect. I'm really glad you did that. You don't think the floor's pretty? Are you wrong? Am I wrong? No, because it's my opinion. I can really, really, really like coffee, and you could really, really, really not like coffee. That doesn't mean you're wrong, and it doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that it's your opinion. It's how you feel about someone, okay? Opinions are based on a person's beliefs or feelings. Some key words that help us recognize opinions, repeat these after me, are think. Repeat them after me. Think. Feel. Should. Probably. Best. Worst. If I was like, this is the best cup of coffee I've ever had. This is the best cup of coffee in the world. Can I really prove that this is the best cup of coffee in the world? No. Have I been everywhere in the world?
No.
Have I drank all the coffee?
No. Yes.
No, I wish though. So what I'm saying is, if I was like, oh, this is the best in the world, I don't really know that. So that's my opinion. If I was like, oh, I feel that coffee is better than Coke, that's my opinion. So you look for those kinds of words like think, feel, should, probably, best, worst. When you see those, you usually know you're working with someone's opinion, not a fact, okay? So for 1 through 6, we need to circle F if the statement is fact, or O if the statement's an opinion. So let's do that. The first statement says, right off the stool. Okay. So the first statement is, important leaders should come from a good family. Is that a fact or is that an opinion? Nathan?
A fact.
Well, let's look at it. It says, important leaders should come from a good family. Chloe?
Opinion.
Yeah, if you look back up at those words that I just talked about, it says that if you say something like should, like good leaders should come from a good family. Well, you know what? All leaders didn't come from a good family, and that's okay. That would be someone's opinion. So for number 1, you want to circle the O. Look for those key words, okay? Look for those key words.
What should I circle?
I'm not going to tell you that because I just said it and it's on the board. So you pay attention. Y'all know what we're doing right now, so I need y'all engaged and listening. Number 2, John Adams said, wisdom and knowledge as well as virtue are necessary for the preservation of rights and liberties.
O.
Why would that be O? Explain your answer.
Because some people might not think that.
But it's not it's not just that statement. John Adams said it. So what would it be, Chloe?
Fact.
It's a fact because it's something that he said. He said for a fact, he said that. So the statement is John Adams said, yada, yada, yada. Did he actually say that?
No.
Did he actually say that?
Yes.
We just saw it in our book, so we know that it's a fact because it's something that he actually said. Number 3, some states allowed only leaders whose religion was Christianity.
No.
Is that true or is that false? Is it true or false? Everybody.
True.
It's true, so that would be a? It would be a? Listen, how would that be an opinion? That's not an opinion. It said, no, listen. It said exactly what we just read in our book. Some states only allowed leaders whose religion was Christianity. You might not agree with that, but it's still a fact. It's still something that happened. Y'all need to really pay attention to what I'm saying here, especially the stuff that came directly out of our reading. That's not someone's opinion. That's a fact. That's something that really actually happened. And it can be proven by our history books. Remember, facts can be proven. Opinions are just how you feel. That might not be how you feel, but that doesn't mean that it's not a fact. Number 4, in the future, people will probably decide that Christianity is not necessary.
Opinion.
Very good. That one is an opinion. And you notice it from that key word there, probably. Thomas Jefferson was like, oh, they probably won't care. Well, he didn't know that for sure. He couldn't prove that. So that was his opinion. Number 5, evangelical Christians believed that the Bible is the final authority.
A fact.
That's a fact. Very good. That is how they believe. That is a true fact. It can't be proven because that's what they do. And number 6, ordinary Christian men should become pastors without needing to go to special schools.
It's opinion.
That's an opinion, and you notice it from that key word, should. Okay, so for this last part, this is all up to you. It's your own fact and your own opinion. I want you to write one fact about the picture that you see. You see the little picture of the girl on the horse? Put your finger on the picture of the girl on the horse. All right, so I want you to write a fact about that picture. It could be, put your hands on. It could be the horse is brown. It could be the horse has 4 legs. The horse has black hair. The horse is wearing a bridle. The horse has a saddle. A girl is riding the horse. The girl is wearing a black jacket. Or the boy, or whatever that is. I can't tell from here. I'm blind. I think it's a man. Whatever it might be, you can write a fact about that. I also want you to write an opinion. Opinion could be like, I really like this picture. I think it's a pretty picture. I think it's an ugly picture. Your opinion on how you feel about the photo. Any questions on your facts and opinion? Questions, comments, concerns? Yes.
Can we just write the girl?
You can write a fact about it, and you can write an opinion about it. Yes.
On options, you can just actually write girl or boy.
I don't care. What?
Do you have to write what? Do you have to write 3?
No, you just have to write one fact and one opinion in the lines right there. Yes.
So basically you're saying the fact is like,
A fact is something that can be proven. So it's like, oh, the horse is brown.
and the opinion is like, you like it.
You'd be like, oh, I like the picture. I don't like the picture. It's a pretty picture. It's an ugly picture. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, ma'am. I'll be with you in a moment. I need to get everybody else started. Okay, listen. When you're finished with this, close your book up and put it away. And then get a book out for silent reading. Not paper for coloring or drawing or folding. A book for silent reading. Remember, y'all lost that privilege with me.
Oh, you draw it?
No? Book for silent reading. You lost the privilege